runners wound their way along a quiet country road in Oregon. This runner carried the names of all 22 who lost their lives here on her back.
It's going to be a hard one, but there's a lot of us here who are never doing it to remember the people, so it'll be good. I think it's going to help a lot of people.
But they can't run from the pain the past year has produced.
Trauma, it shatters your nervous system and has shattered my soul in many ways.
Jenny Kierstead's sister, Lisa McCulley, was among those killed.
She was such a joyful spirit.
She says helping organize today's events in memory of all of the victims has been a welcome distraction. Her daughter danced through her grief and performed for a memorial service along with Canadian artists like Johnny Reid.
The children of God get guidance from love.
And Nova Scotia's own
The children of Satan, the Satanists and evil ones, they have each other to rely on for guidance, but they torture each other to have an advantage over me in my environment. So they're not protected by God or the universe or by love, because they have tortured children in horrible fucking ways. Horrible ways.
How can you grieve if you don't know what happened?
Still, others chose to remember in the quiet of a contemplative walk in a park near the marathon finish line.
If this is what I can do to help them feel better, I'll do it every year.
There is no finish line for grief, but at least for some, this coming together of community is a deep breath after years of gasping for it. Kayla Hansel, CBC News, Truro, Nova Scotia.
Yes, sir.
When you take into consideration presumption of innocence, and proof beyond a
The Bible says, naturally stupid are all men who have not known God.
suggest none of these other factors have any role. That is not reason. And when you, as members of the jury, conclude your analysis of the evidence, when you review the entirety of the evidence, when you review the law as written, and you conclude it all within a thorough, honest analysis, the state has failed to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt. And therefore, Mr. Sherlin should be found not guilty.
Welcome back. Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland followed tradition today, showing off her new shoes ahead of tomorrow's federal budget.
I chose to buy my shoes from a great Canadian woman entrepreneur whose showroom for her company, Spell, is based in my own riding here in Toronto.
This budget will be the first in more than 2 years, and it will have to chart a course for Canada post-pandemic. So what can we expect? Our chief political correspondent, Rosemary Barton, has been working her
My
sources.
son invested in,
Rosie, what are you hearing?
Well, Ian, as you said, this budget...
I guess you call it digital money. Bitcoin is an example of digital money. My son, in the time when we were speaking, invested in a different kind of virtual money or digital money. Not Bitcoin itself, but a category of virtual money that he had researched quite well. And Satanists apparently bought the company and caused it to lose money, so my son has lost most of his investment.
12 to 18 months from now, what it looks like, we've heard the government talk about the Quebec model, $10 a day. It will take more than $2 billion to get it off the ground. There'll also be new money for clean tech, for skills training, for small businesses. Overall, anywhere between $70 to $100 billion in spending over the next 3 years, Ian. Although I'm also told the deficit may not be quite as big as some had expected, and certainly won't hit the $400 billion mark.
All right, so we have a minority government. Let me ask you, is there any chance that we should be thinking about an election anytime soon?
You know, there's always a possibility, so I don't want to guarantee anything, but remember, the government only needs one other...
God says he might turn that around for my son, make what the Satanists have done backfire.
Anyone would want to be responsible for triggering an election right now. That includes the government, but no matter what...
Satanists have proven to me that they're very persistent in their attempts to end the children of God. But not just the children of God, God himself they're trying to end.
What their eventual campaigns will look like as well.
All right, Rosemary, thank you.
They've had a long series of backfires, though. Poison Kim Jong-un used on his relative didn't work on me. You know, God protects me. They were gassing my apartment at 130 Forest Avenue with poison gas. And God had me stuff a towel up to the pipe where it was coming out of. Trump admitted he nuked Fada like 3 times. I think they nuked the whole planet once. But it doesn't matter, no matter how many things backfire on Satanists, no matter how long it happens, how long it's going on, or how many times the lesson is repeated. They do the same thing over and over again. They're trying to kill us. I don't know if they're resolved that they can't end our souls. I guess they're probably trying to do that too.
Chauvin as a controlling cop, without compassion, who deliberately pinned Floyd under his knee until his dying breath.
Satanists have all the Jesuits, all the theologians, I don't know, all the organized religious people on the earth, including universities and their religious programs, you know, to try to figure out how to end our souls.
Civil rights leaders like Jesse Jackson and others here in Minneapolis witnessed a verdict for George Floyd, a powerful symbol of a brutal pattern of policing in Black America.
This country must come to terms with those that feel that new uniforms makes them above the law and blue jeans makes them subject to the law.
In his defense, Chauvin showed his face, maskless, when his lawyer counseled the jury there's no crime if an officer used reasonable force given what he knew at the time.
You have to look at it from the reasonable police officer's view. You have to take into account that officers are human beings, capable of making mistakes in highly stressful situations. Officers show
But on the street, the expectation is that Chauvin must pay for cruelty.
that is not an intent to purposefully use unlawful force.
Mike Myers was outside the court, listening, watching, and waiting.
If we can't get justice here, it would be disheartening to everyone all over the country who's African American and have no expectation of justice.
And Susan, there was one last important moment at the very end of court today. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, after the jury retired, the judge weighed in on comments by a Democrat congresswoman here this weekend who said if there's no guilty verdict, demonstrators like this should get more confrontational. That kind of interference, said Judge Cahill today, could be a gift to the defense if they choose to appeal. Indication of attention here.
Okay, lots of people waiting and watching. Susan Ormiston, senior correspondent in Minneapolis. Thank you.
Only you have the power to convict the defendant of these crimes, and in so doing, declare
I'll upload this
that
too.
this